Welcome to the FrequentSEE Network. Frequent, capital S, capital E, capital E. Self-empowering experts giving you a self-empowering experience, sharing authentic connections about sound, light, energy, frequency, vibration, and most of all, love. There is nothing more authentic than being the love that you are. We are 4 generations of women empowering you to love your life even more. Here we flow.
So I'm going to go ahead and start with Kristen, as she is our forecaster for today and giving us what frequencies are really coming in on the planet that are giving us some information on how to, make it through each day and to return our strengths and all those good things. And I'm sure Kristen and Nia, as we go along, will have a lot to say about all these things as well. So, Kristen, how are you today?
So good. So I am looking over the forecast for July, and there are a lot of things that are coming online here. And I am just going to, from my own experience and intuition, just pick some of the top 2 or 3 and talk about those. And the first one is our adrenal medulla. And so this is coming online early on in July. And what that means is we're going to have extra stress on our adrenal medulla, which is all over our fight or flight response. So we may be experiencing a little bit more stress over things that may not have been stressful for us otherwise. We may be able to handle them outside of our medulla, our adrenal medulla being having extra, just that frequency coming online extra. So take into note that it will be great to do some stress resets. I will be doing fascia resets, a fascia stress reset to just keep our electric body and our magnetic body flowing. So any energy that comes in will just flow through. We're growing our capacity, right, to hold these frequencies. And that's how I look at this, is the awareness, yes, and then also the capacity to be able to hold whatever is in stress and coming online. So take into note the adrenal medulla. And does anybody want to comment on the adrenal medulla? Because we might be already actually feeling it thus far.
I just think it's kind of fitting and silly that it's like the hot months of summer, and this is kind of when we're feeling a little like maybe hot, like emotionally or different things. It makes sense.
Yeah, I like how you brought that component in, because also I think the adrenal medulla gets affected, and when we are in a kind of stressful situation, we are coming into where a lot of areas are feeling as if a drought or something, things like that are being put out there. Fires, we have a lot of fires here in Colorado and the Utah border. Lots of smoke coming in, and I think that's gonna, and the heat, like you said, and all of those things really do set off. They are, I can see it being the frequency of the moment. So yes, we have a lot going on that is stressing out that the adrenal medulla, and with many things that are happening in our world, of course. So how do we deal, with those things? Also, I just want to put out the adrenal medulla is a central area for stress reaction, just like, and suffers from chronic stress and trauma, which is what Kristen was bringing up. And also, there's a good thing to shift these type of experiences and frequencies, are about doing some things that bring us great joy, and really focusing in on those kind of things. So I bring in my question I usually have for a lot of people when we're feeling stressed or have some pain going on, is the big question, what would you rather have instead? And so that's the question today. If we are, each one of us here are feeling some stressors, what would we rather have instead? And maybe just put that question out and see if we can all have something to bring forward about that. And maybe even in the frequencies, Kristen, do we have some other frequencies that would bring even greater joy and up things for us and balance things out?
Yes, and so this is what is fascinating about how this works is about a week after, so the middle of, let me just get the exact date here. The 15th of July, so the middle of July, we have selenium frequency equivalent come online. And selenium is the mineral that when we do have trauma and grief, especially the emotion of grief, will burn through selenium stores really, really quickly. So when somebody is having a very grief-stricken experience, selenium will support them to be able to move through it. And I just find it so fascinating that here comes on the adrenal medulla. And it's like, lets us sit and marinate in this stress. And then about a week later, here comes selenium to come and ease and help us move through it. Just based on our beautiful universal frequencies. So very, very neat to see how that plays out. And we can move through it quicker when we know about it. We can use selenium. We can grow our capacity of understanding how our feeling world works and have different tools like that for ourselves, which is what we are huge advocates of, being self experts here. So the next one that and the last one after selenium I'd like to share that's coming online is our thorax, which is all about the cavity that houses our heart and those different organs there, but it serves as a protection for those. And a few days later, our diaphragm comes in, which is all attached, in that same area. So it has a lot to do with feeling protected and safe in our inspiration and what we're bringing forth there, what we're inspired to do. So I like to, again, use conscious language for this because it's coming online, this question of, am I safe to bring what I feel inspired into this world? And we get to say with our inner telling, our intelligence, yes. So we confirm and say, yes, I am secure and I am fully protected. I'm fully God protected, call on your higher power, whatever that looks like. And I move forward in my inspiration. So those are a few things just to be watchful of. Those are coming in more at the end of July, which is going to be kind of fun for those who are bringing inspiration into the world for July. So if you are experiencing some cool things that you're feeling inspired by, this is a great time to move through it and agree with your yes, your I am.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Mia, what does that bring up for you with all that Kristen shared with us of what's going on and coming through into July and moving us into some, through the summer and then we come into the fall, right? So what you thinking here?
I just think it's so fascinating. I love frequency math. It's interesting too because we just had the summer solstice. I had a sound bath that day. We were talking about just like the sacred balance of everything because the summer solstice is the longest day of the year. So really, like, things were kind of out of balance, and right now we're coming into these super hot, long days that are longer for like a little bit longer till about the middle of July is probably when we'll start noticing them not being the longest days anymore. So it's just so interesting for me to see the selenite come in and just that I was really talking about the sacred balance of it all and just how, sometimes things feel extreme. It was like the sun is also the energy, a masculine energy. Normally it was Father's Day. So we were talking about just like, how sacredly balanced everything is, even if you didn't have a great father figure, that you still had this support of this masculine energy through the planet. And it's like, it's just cool to see how these frequencies balance each other out in the same way. It's like that sacred balance is coming back into harmony as we swing into the later summer. So it's fun. I like it a lot.
I love that you shared all those things and brought in the balance, the masculine, the feminine, the, what's going on the planet, the longer days, the solstice. Yeah, there's so much that we're moving through and into. And I feel that, going back to where we had the adrenal medulla being activated, and then selenium coming in to kind of balance and harmonize. And then what was the end of the thorax, right? The thorax. So thorax also reminds me, because you said it's a protection of the heart. And I would say the throat, right? And the tongue. Because isn't the tongue an appendage of the heart? I mean, that's what Bob used to say, and let us know that, everything is connected. And we have the vagus nerve passing through those vocal cords. And so let thorax be all a part of that, even our word made flesh type thing. What are you thinking about that? Anybody have, my thoughts around it is, protecting that area, protecting the heart. When you brought that up, it really made me think about even, how we speak and our voices being heard and things like that. So I'm just gonna put that out there for a minute.
Yeah, I think there's so many great metaphors here for what it means for each of us individually. And I really think that will come into our mind for what and how this might play in for us. And I love that you brought in the vocal cords and expression, the tongue. It's so powerful. And it's always fun to use conscious language.
Yes. How are you feeling in your heart, Mia?
I'm just being reminded big time that it's important we stay in our creator selves. And, we're coming into the end of the year, a lot of time to still create and do things and bloom and blossom. And, I think like the protection thing coming online and the seasons changing, it's like right now is such a time of abundance and growth and like just enjoying this season to get ready for the next season. It's always like prepping and enjoying at the same time, I feel like.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because, I switch from home to home a lot since I am a caretaker of people's homes and their pets and, ranches and farms and things like that. So I'm constantly getting up and moving and moving and moving. Yet it, in my service, that's what my reward is being able to give people the opportunity to go have some fun in their own lives. And so when we're talking about the adrenal medulla going off, right? How do we, balance those frequencies so we don't, through certain situations, be taken out? And where does, my question would be, selenium being what part, isn't it? So the hormones come from the reaction, the endocrine system, and how we see our world, how we perceive our world. And then we make some hormones to help balance out our lives. And my thought around that is when we are in certain situations that could be really stressful, how do you, each one of you, people who are listening to this podcast and us here, what kind of time do you take for yourself to really go within when you're talking about, our own inner intelligence, emotional intelligence? How do we activate all of those beautiful hormones, as Dr. Candace Pert used to call molecules of emotions. We have an enlightened inner pharmacy within us. So we can make opiates, we can make, dopamine, we can make selenium, we can make anything and everything to help put us in balance and harmony. So, and how do we do that? Well, a lot of times it comes from the perception of our world. And, we were talking about, I remember Mia saying earlier, or maybe it was Kristen, but, that I am safe, I'm secure, I'm supported, I am valued, I am loved. When we are just saying that and empowering ourselves with being the love that we are, do we, through those thoughts, words, and feelings, as we say, my word is made flesh, and we're talking about voice, do we create our world and be able to change the outcome of the adrenal medulla getting stressed out and getting that information like, ooh, now I have, maybe I need to see my world a little more joyous, and where have I lost my joy and where can I bring it back? So I'm just kind of rambling, it sounds like, I bet, where is my word made flesh here? So I'm feeling, how can we empower everyone here, including ourselves, to take a moment and go within? And one of the things I love to say is breathe deep into your heart. And we're talking about there's that thorax and everything for protection. Breathe deep into your heart and love yourself even more today than you did yesterday. And through doing that, what are we activating within ourselves that we're creating from that enlightened inner pharmacy that we've been given to ignite those things that bring us even more balance and harmony into our lives? So that's one of the things I love to share and ask people to do, is to breathe deep in their hearts and love themselves even more today than they did yesterday. Mia, what would you give as a gift today to help people balance their adrenal cortex, to, get into their heart and that thorax and get that strength going, and really make the necessary hormones, or, like I said, the enlightened inner pharmacy, whatever we need to thrive and harmonize our world?
For me, I think like journaling is huge. Just like taking time to do a little gratitude list, even just like a little self-reflection. Maybe if you're not feeling good, just getting it out and on paper. I think I notice such a big difference in my life when I am doing it and when I'm not. And so I think if there's like something so quick and easy that you can do to reset, is just like write down 3 things that you're grateful for, or write down what you want to get rid of and burn it, or write down, things you're manifesting or whatever's on your mind. But it's always good to just write things down.
Yes, yes. And Kristen, what do you do for yourself, your family, and those things to help, move through some of these challenging times, as well, that we can kick in that balance and harmony and that love within us?
Yeah, for me, I go back to basics on how our body works. And we thrive on getting enough good quality sleep, and sunlight, activates all of the hormones, and grounding. And so those 3 things I would focus on for myself and kids, if we're challenged with just feeling a little bit high anxiety, or just like we're not fully in control things. I go back to basics. All right, let's start getting our sleep. Make sure that we are getting true sunlight. Turn off the fake light before bed, and then ground. Get our electrons going through our system, flowing. So it's more of a technical.
Yeah. Yes, that's all so perfect, to journal, let go, put things down. And does this serve me? No, then I can let go of what no longer serves me, right? And then same thing, those things that ground us, get that sunlight, that's so huge. There's so much that has been said to try to keep people fearful of sunlight, when sunlight is what gives us so much life and information, and it's a huge frequency for life. And yes, and then loving ourselves. We are, and speak of self. Self. My acronym for self is you are source, energy, love, frequency. And when we stand in that state of being, state of your being, let it be love. Be that source energy, love frequency. Breathe deep into your heart and love yourself even more today than you did yesterday. And you'll be amazed at all of that enlightened inner pharmacy that you are igniting to create that balance and harmony and that thriving that we all so desire to have in our lives and be able to share with others. Now, with that, I just want to make a speak of one of our fourth self-empowering expert. Today, she wasn't able to join us. She has had a little accident, little fall yesterday, and I want to just ask everybody to, be in your heart and put that out to Josie James for her health and well-being, and bringing her into a nice harmonic balance, and sending her lots of love and peace and calm, and that we're here with her. So I want to thank everyone for joining us here. And I'm going to just ask about anybody have any last minute takeaways and anything to say, and are sending our love over to Josie James. Mia, Kristen?
All of this is such a personal, on a personal level. And it's really bringing us back to ourselves and starting to be aware of the signals that are coming online for ourselves. And, if we can get so caught up in seeking heaven outside of ourselves, seeking for answers outside of ourselves, but it really is, the signals are coming from within, and it's just about trusting what's coming online, what's happening. You know exactly what you require, and your brain knows what is required to balance out what is happening. I mean, our body is for us. It's for us. So that's what I just want to remind us, that amidst hearing what is working for all of us, it's finding your own system that the system that works is the one you're going to do. So what you do consistently, that you will stick with, and that makes the difference.
True. And Mia?
I love it. My takeaway is, I just love how simple it is. It's so easy to make things so complex, but like just breathing deep into your heart, recognizing, what's for you and what's not, whether you want to have a journaling practice or just like take the time to really have a gratitude moment, and getting outside, getting fresh air, getting sleep. It's like these basic things that like we just run ourselves down, and we are like, my body is for us. What do you say? Our body is for us. It's like so many people are dealing with so many things where like the body seems like it's attacking itself, but it's like, it's just so avoidable. So I hope that we can just empower people to really, I think you said, Cynthia, find agreement with their yes, and figure out that like if your body's communicating with you, there's something that's not a yes. So like, let's figure it out. So I love the math. I think there's a sacred balance to it all, and there's always changes, and there's always stuff coming up. And I love that we're here to support people and maybe recognizing what might be coming up and just how to move through it, because it's fun when it makes sense and it's like a puzzle and you're like, okay, I can work with this. I can move forward better. So I love it.
Yes. So choose to make your life fun and easy. And know, and just like the girls just said, everything is automated. We have an autonomic nervous system. We have an autoimmune system. Our breath, automatically we breathe. Our heart and our blood pumps, through the biological momentum and movements of the earth and the flows of along with, we have this source flowing through us. We are automated, and everything has been made to take care of us. So sacred body language translation is about listening, and that's what we bring. The frequencies forecast is about the frequencies of the moment, and they're speaking to you always, and your body is responding. And so pay attention when something like a pain or something discordant comes up. Just stop and go, I'm being asked to do life differently. And go ahead, figure out what feels good. Go to what feels good. What would you rather have instead? I'd rather feel joyous. I'd rather feel, and then have you ever felt that feeling before? And go there. Go there. Instead of going, I got to figure out this pain. I got to figure out why I have this and why I have that, and keep going into the pain. You just keep that pain longer. So instead, what would you rather have instead? Love yourself enough to go in the direction that feels good. And that's, I think, where I'm going to go with. That takes you out of those adrenal medulla. We get into our head and think, I got to figure out why I'm in pain. No, get yourself out of there as quick as possible. Do not stay there. That's the issue that's been going on. The amygdala, the fight or flight. People are staying there. Don't stay there. Move forward, love yourself, go towards what feels good for you. All right, everybody, we love you so much. Sending lots of love and prayers in Josie Jane's way, and to all of you who are ready to step forward into your joy. We are so happy to have you here joining us here at the FrequentSEE Network. FrequentSEE, bringing the frequent of the self-empowering experts, giving you a self-empowering experience and having authentic connections. And we hope, we trust and have so much faith that we are touching each one of your hearts as you are touching ours. Much love to you all, and have a beautiful day.